Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter.
According to the calendar, we're just 4 weeks away from opening day of fishing, and that's the start of our canoe season. But Mother Nature is not looking at the same calendar we are. We're running about 2 or 3 weeks behind a normal spring. Hi, I'm John Schiefelbein, managing owner of North Country Canoe Outfitters here in Ely. In a normal spring, we'd be looking at starting to put our docks in right now, but Mother Nature is running a little bit behind. And with tonight's storm, it's going to be a little bit longer before we get started.
It's alright.
Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter.
So we got a little bit of snow last night, 12 inches in November, December, January, no big deal. We get that every week or so. But the middle of April, yeah, it's slowing us down. Normally about now, I'd be heading down to Winona, Minnesota, south of Minneapolis, to pick up canoes. But this year, we're going to have to put that on hold for 2 weeks. The weather down there was not great, and I'm glad I didn't go. Though temperatures this week are supposed to remain in the 20s and 30s with maybe a 40 in there, forecast for next week, we should see a high of 75, and that'll make a big deal. Sooner or later, spring will be here.
It feels like years since it's been here.
As the lake ice melts, it honeycombs versus turns to slush. Patches of lake open up with islands of ice slowly drifting back and forth with the breeze. Every year there are several who tempt fate and the Lakeland spirits and venture out in these conditions. The moving ice can easily trap a canoe for a few minutes or perhaps even hours. Another situation can arrive when a strong onshore breeze moves a tsunami of ice up against the campsite that can last for a day or two, stranding campers while they just watch the ice move. Here at the base, turning on water early in the buildings can cause huge headaches. We've got to wait until the frost is totally out of the ground, nighttime temperatures are above freezing. Though we place our orders for freeze-dried food in January, now is the time for the annual food show, checking new options and placing our opening orders.
Hi, I'm Phil Bass with the Certified Angus Beef brand. I'm the meat scientist. What we've been doing here is exposing a lot of folks to a lot of the different new cuts that we have available in the beef community. This one right here is a cut out of the chuck. That's the shoulder of the animal. And this is actually extremely tender, flavorful, and juicy piece of meat. We do have, of course, the classical chuck roasts that are out, but definitely a rich and desirable flavor.
As I mentioned earlier, we'll make another attempt to get down to Winona to pick up a full trailer load of new Kevlar canoes at the Winona Manufacturing Complex. It's always fascinating to take a trip past the production stations and watch these craftsmen work on their magic on creating the best Kevlar canoes on the water.
It's alright.
Last fall, we made an early morning trip down to St. Cloud for the annual tackle show. We placed our stocking orders for different lures, as well as talking directly with the factory reps about their newest offerings. Now as that tackle starts to arrive, we have to get it priced and on the shelves. After the ice is finally cleared, towards the end of May, adventure awaits the first safe paddlers out on the canoe trails. Personally, I really envy them. Being the first to sleep on that particular island stirs the soul. With the water being at its coldest point for the summer season, walleye are at their fishing prime. You know, dining on a day's catch of fresh walleye should be on every outdoorsman's bucket list. After dinner, you can sit back and absorb God's celestial creation, billions of stars from your 5-star campsite. You could be treated to the northern lights, shooting stars, maybe a comet, or perhaps a confluence of planets. But you know, with this year's late spring, we'll have one more confluence: ice out, school's out, and lake trout. Doesn't happen very often. This year, June fishermen should be able to still land those wilderness treasures. So if you want to get in on that early fishing, possibly see an early season moose, and get out and really be the first out on the trail, put these to use. Give us a call. We want to do your canoe trip.